History is Franklin Roosevelt, who said that governments can err, presidents can make mistakes, but the immortal Dante tells us that divine justice weighs the sins of the cold-blooded and the sins of the warm-hearted on a different scale.
Wow.
Better the occasional mistake of a government acting in the spirit of charity than the consistent omissions of a government frozen in the ice of its own indifference. What we have seen over the last 7.5 years is not only indifference to the problems facing the state of Oklahoma, we have seen outright hostility to the needs of Common Ed, to the needs of higher ed, to the needs of our health system, to the needs of our mental health system, to the needs of our justice system, to the needs of prison reduction. Hostility to all of those causes from the other side, and that means they're going to get weighed on a different scale.
Yeah.
Another one of mine, and I'm going to throw this out to you, is from the book of Daniel, when they were having a party in Belshazzar's temple, which was his father Nebuchadnezzar's temple, and they were violating most of the Ten Commandments, and all of a sudden a moving finger appeared and wrote on the wall of the palace, "Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin." And the king didn't know what that meant and called his wisest advisors in, and they didn't know what it meant. It was in Aramaic, and the literal translation was numbered, weighed, divided. And the queen said, "Well, now we've got Daniel down there in a cell. Why don't you bring him up, because he's supposed to be a prophet, and ask Daniel what it means." And Daniel came up, and he said what it means is numbered, weighed, divided, and what that translates to is your days are numbered and the end is at hand. You have been weighed in the balance and found wanting. Your kingdom will be divided among the Medes and the Persians. And that's my message to the Republican Party and both of the candidates for governor. You have been weighed in the balance and found wanting. Your kingdom is going to be divided, and we're going to take it over. We are united. We are united in the campaign. We are united in philosophy, because we all believe that the key to the growth of the state of Oklahoma is the education of our children, and it's been shortchanged, and we're going to properly fund it. We're going to give a series of pay raises to our teachers to get them out of the hole that they're in now. We're going to fund basic support for our schools, and we're going to put appropriations back into higher education, into our universities and colleges, and our career tech system, all of which have been shortchanged over the last 7.5 years. We have a promise to make to the Oklahoma people, and that promise is we're going to get out of the hole in health, where we're dead last in too many categories. We're going to move up. We're going to get out of the hole in mental health by properly funding the Smart on Crime proposal, which puts drug, alcohol, and mental health treatment facilities all across the state of Oklahoma, and start bringing down the prison population. And speaking of which, we voted for 780 and 781 in 2016, and we watched the legislature try to take it apart. That's wrong, and it's going to stop. We watched the Board of Health and the governor try to take apart what the citizens voted for in 788 with medical marijuana. That was wrong, and it's going to stop. My pledge to you and my pledge to Oklahoma is, when the people of the state of Oklahoma vote on a state issue, it will be implemented and not thwarted by government. We can do all of these things that unite us because we are united. We are going to work together this fall. We have great candidates in every statewide office, every one of them. Just listen to Mark Miles. Got 2 great candidates for Corporation Commission. We're going to pick one and elect them November 6th. We have great candidates for Labor Commissioner. Where'd Fred go? Fred, you're going to win. You're going to win. We're going to win these races because we stand. Kimberly Fobbs is going to win because we stand tall on the issues that are important to Oklahoma. water.
That's what that tastes
Nothing wrong with that. We've had a good time on the campaign trail. And I want you to know, and I hope he's still here, Scott Inman was here a while ago, and I want to thank him for his support. He ran a good race. I'm sorry he had to leave the race, but he is still in there fighting for Oklahomans, and I appreciate it. I want you also to know that I got a voicemail today from Connie Johnson, and I appreciated it. And I returned, we're playing phone tag, and I left her a voicemail, but we're going to get together, we're going to talk about the issues, and we're going to be in common cause in the months ahead leading up to November 6th. The issues are too important to do otherwise. The issues are too important not to put all of our shoulders to the wheel and move this state forward. The issues are too important to our children and our grandchildren not to do everything that we can to change the direction that the state of Oklahoma has been going over the last 7.5 years. The good news is this: all of the troubles facing the state of Oklahoma today are man-made. They are deliberate decisions of government that put us in the hole that we're in today. The decision to deprive 153,000 Oklahomans of basic health care by turning down the Medicaid expansion was a deliberate decision. I'm going to reverse it. We're going to opt in to Medicaid expansion. Not only is it the right thing to do to take care of the health needs of a group of citizens who work full time and are still just above the poverty level. They need basic health care. They can't afford private health insurance. We need to expand Medicaid to make sure they get it. And listen, if there are any fiscal conservatives out there that are worried about this expenditure, let me tell you this: it will make more money than it costs, and it will keep our rural hospitals and nursing homes open, providing medical care for our citizens. When we do these things, when we increase funding to education, when we restore funding to our colleges and universities, when we provide for the basic health care of our citizens, to make sure mental health is on parity with physical health and it's properly funded as well, when we start bringing down the prison population, when we have real justice reform, not just talk about it, but do it, when we do those things, industry will come to Oklahoma because we're growing, we're expanding, we're changing our indicators, we're proving that this is a great state to live in, it's a great state to educate your kids, it's safe, it is well educated, it's healthy, and we're going to protect our water while we're at it.